Hello and welcome to day 2 of the 7-day self-love program. So first of all, I just want to recap on day 1. So day 1 was kind of like a little bit of an easy way in, really, just easing yourself into this whole process. But it's really important at the beginning of anything like this that you kind of have a really good idea as to where you are at, so that you can then see the level of progress across the 7 days, because you're going to see that it's quite dramatic, but without having those markers and your rating out of 10, you're kind of not going to be able to judge that fairly. So where are you at? What will proof look like, feel like, and sound like to you when you love yourself? So what is the evidence? And then the big question, when everything starts working for you and you start seeing different opportunities for you to love yourself, is how can you love yourself? And you ask yourself that question. Now, hopefully you've posted in the Facebook group. Hopefully you've joined it. If you haven't, just make sure you join. Come in there and post. It's great for everyone to pile in and just say where they're at. It's going to be a private group, so it's absolutely fine. You can post what you like about yourself, and it's going to then have the energy of the group that's going to allow us to kind of see in each other where we are at and where we need to grow, and the fact that actually we're all on a similar journey as well, and that can be quite a comforting feeling. So what is for day 2? Well, in the same way that we've kind of eased you in for day 1, it's all about self-love. Isn't about this big sledgehammer thing and you're gonna suddenly just crack it. It really is about slowly finding the right path for you. And so it's all about starting easy. What are the easy ways to love yourself? Now, for me, I'd suffered with bulimia for a couple of decades. It had kind of morphed into a slightly different disordered eating pattern, but then nevertheless food was about punishment. So for me, in terms of loving myself, the idea that particularly in the fitness industry or people that say look after yourself, look after your body, that was just way a bigger step. I just could not do that. That's just like really going at the biggest issue that I've got going on. So you don't start with your biggest issue. If eating isn't your biggest issue, then maybe start with food, but you want to make it easy for yourself. So because of that, I used skincare. So because I knew a lot about the body, understood that the skin was pretty much the largest organ, covers all of your body, and it affects your bloodstream quite quickly. I knew that I could cut, and I've had a long-standing relationship with my skin. I try and worship my skin. Whilst I wasn't a product user really, I knew that it was a route to me undertaking some sort of daily ritual that was about me time, was about me saying that I'm nourishing myself, feeding the love. So it's about finding a way for you that enables you to feed love into yourself. So how can you do that? So you might want to do it with food or nutrition or with particular supplements. Don't just do anything. Make sure that you're investing, that you've researched, that whatever you're doing fits with your values and your beliefs, because that's when it's going to work. If you're doing it because it's the trend, you're not going to have the same impact because you're doing it for a different purpose. So start in the easy place. It could be that you want to look at your toxicity. So you may want to say you want to take walks in fresh air, or ensure that you get fresh air. You may want to think about your alcohol consumption, and you may want to reduce that. And again, it could be around nutrition. You could change one thing that is a ritual every day. So even if it's introducing like having lemon water every day, hot water, and that's what you do, and that's a process you do. So if you could put something in that's kind of in the morning when you wake up, and one that you go to bed, or one that you just know that you're going to be able to do on a daily basis. As you're doing that process, whatever it is that you decide, this is going to be my starting easy process of I love myself, I give myself this, I am worthy, I'm going to spend the time, I'm going to spend the money, and I'm going to do the research. When you do that, make sure that that ritual, you are very consciously thinking about who you are and how worthy you are, and you've got to be strict with yourself, which is why I say start easy, because you want something that is maintainable. Then you can build up into bigger things. If it's exercise, and you can do exercise, and you can find the time to do exercise, and you can be disciplined about it, and it's going to be easy, if that is going to be easy, do that. If it's 3 yoga moves in the morning and 3 yoga moves of the night, do that. If it's just stretching out in bed, do that. Find a way, and if you're not sure, just ask yourself, how can I find an easy way to love myself? How can I have an easy ritual that I could do? And then your unconscious mind is going to work for you, because you've asked the right questions and deliver what's going to be best for you. The unconscious mind goes on the least effort rule, okay? So it's not going to want anything complicated and fancy in order to achieve the objective. So work within the rules of your unconscious mind. So the other thing to look at here is about support. Now, very often when you kind of don't love yourself and you spent a lifetime with this, you often don't see support in your life, and it does exist, but you don't see that it's there. You can't feel that you feel supported by your partner, or by siblings, or by your parents or friends. You don't feel supported in some way, and you don't hear words of support and encouragement. And again, it's all about looking at the external validation, which we know you spend a lifetime of doing that, and you'll never ever have enough, because self-love comes from within. But what you want to do is just jot down, get your journal, your pen and paper, and jot down where you do know it's really obvious that you have support in your life. You may want more, and it may not be enough, but just recognise where you're getting it from. Is it from work? Is it from friends? Is it from family? Even if you've got a child that kind of says, I love you, mummy, or whatever, and they care for you. If you can recognise support in some way, jot that down. That's really important. And then I've got for you some amazing hypnosis tracks, which you're going to get in the email, the links to. So one of the biggest things that I found was not loving myself because I felt like a failure. And so I've done this specific hypnosis track. I hadn't actually really dealt with it in a big way for me before, so this is going to be super powerful for you guys. And when I recorded it, whilst not perfect, I had an amazing transformation, and so I want to leave it as it is with that, because the fact that me recording it had a shift in me and who I am and how I feel about myself, and hours later what that did for me in the day. I know it's going to have a big impact for you guys. And then there's also a track on finding easy ways to love yourself, so make sure you listen to that. And then also another track on support, so seeing, hearing, feeling support, so being able to recognize support. So once you've listened to those tracks, you may want to kind of space them out. If you can do them all in one day, great. If you need to pace them out into further days, that's fine. But know that as soon as you do those tracks, you are going to have a very different view. It's going to be like you were in one cinema and watching one film, and then you're going to go in another theatre, and you're going to go and see almost a slightly different film, similar, but it's going to be opened up to you in ways that weren't there before. So when we start peeling back some of these beliefs, then you can start to recognise why you are worthy of being loved because of everything that you've got in your life. But at the moment you can feel quite blinkered to all of that. And I'm also going to have in the email is a link to a video on the skincare nutrition that I love. So I picked something that really fitted with my values. It was about how pure the products were, the fact that they combined them with science, and was about kind of taking the best out of everything, recycling, being as green as possible, and for me was the right premium product and was better than some of the other products that I'd previously been using on an ingredient base. So I introduce you to have a look at that, and if it fits with you, great. If not, it's going to give you some ideas as to what will be right for you. What do you want to look for when you're looking for any products or any process? So if you decide to put a ritual of having a facial once a month, where does it need to be? What sort of price does it need to be? What are the type of people there? What is the flexibility around it? When can you do it? That kind of thing. So it will give you some ideas around that as well. And you're also going to have a link to an online personal trainer who I think is absolutely fabulous. And so if you're looking at the exercise route and want some kind of support in that kind of area, you don't have to have a gym membership. Jess is amazing and she can give you some pointers, so certainly take a look at that as well. So enjoy the tracks for today. Let me know how you get on in the Facebook group. Love to hear all of your feedback, and then I look forward to seeing you on day 3. Bye for now.